the Ska Kid. We're at Palace Day Sheila Reno. The Knights are doing what they're supposed to do. Kiff Points is here. Beer Guy is here. Litany of other human beings are here. We've got Flip in the combined effort from Arlington, Texas. They have been on tour. You last heard just Kiff, Mike, myself, and Flip on the phone on July 12th. And since then, they've been traveling around this crazy, oval shape? And we are a stop as they just played Madison last night and are headed to Chicago. So welcome, all of you.
Thank you.
So let's do introductions. You're Maddie.
I'm Maddie. I play trumpet.
I'm Alexis. I play drum set.
I'm Eric. I'm studying guitar.
I'm Sam. I play trombone.
I'm Felipe. I'm lead vocalist.
I'm Victor. I play bass.
I'm David. I play saxophone.
And if I remember correctly, it is you two who are in the synth pop band, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. So they're gonna come on too, right?
Yeah.
Good, good. So, welcome. How was Madison last night? Let's start with that.
Oh, it was great.
Awesome.
Courtesy of Tim and Space Monkey Mafia were killer.
Killed it.
Mind-blowing. They were so good. It was great. Had a great time.
So, how did you get, just to recap for anybody who's new tuning in today and they're like, I didn't listen to that, let's pay attention now. How did you get the Madison gig? Who did you talk to get booked there? And you played the Wisco, correct?
Yeah, we played the Wisco. I just looked around in the area for ska bands, and I think my buddy Eric pointed me in the direction of Courtesy of Tim, and I hit them up. I was like, hey, looking to do a gig on this day, looking for a venue. And then Space Monkey Mafia contacted them, and it just worked out. Literally, they were looking for the same day, and we just got it booked and played.
It's super odd that, not a joke, like before our interview, probably 2 weeks before, Space Monkey was like, we're Space Monkey Mafia from Minnesota and we're going to be in Wisconsin. Where do we go? And I was like, what? So I had no clue that you guys were all going to be on the same thing. And then you released your event and I was like, oh, wow. I know all of them. So that was pretty neat to see. And tonight you're in Chicago.
Yeah, we're at the Mutiny tonight.
And the lineup there is?
World Class Extortionist, Jimmy Degenerate, and then us.
And you can catch Jimmy Degenerate upcoming, I believe they're coming in September, if I remember off the top of my head. But let's talk about this lineup. Raise your hand, class, if you're an original member of this band.
Do I count?
Like,
Yeah.
do I count? All right.
It's like original or official.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. We'll do official members.
Okay.
Because that's you,
Yeah.
you, and you two.
Yeah.
We're subs.
They're subs. So let's talk about how did you pick these guys up and why is he getting left?
So back in January, we went up to Oklahoma and played a gig with the Big News, and his band Elephant Sea saw him play, and he's incredible. Our usual trombone player also plays for the Holophonics, and they're on a big,
They're
50
playing in Nevada tonight at
Yeah.
Apple Pie, so
Yeah.
you can catch your trombone player there.
Yeah, everyone say hi,
At
Willie.
the Scarpy
Hi,
Cube.
Willie. But so he was on tour with them, so I was like, we need someone, and Maddie suggested, why don't we get Sam from Elephant Sea? I was like, that makes the most sense.
It was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Worst
Yeah,
idea
we're
I've ever
regretting it
had.
now, but no, Sam's been great.
Friends to the end. Get out here.
No, but Sam's been great, and then Eric plays in another ska band in Denton called Madeline, and we've
And
Oh yeah, Johnny's big.
and Johnny's Big Red Rocket. We played with
I'm
we
in
played with
another
both of
band.
them for years now since we
while,
first
yeah.
started,
Been a minute.
and he was the first guy I thought of when our guitarist couldn't do the full tour.
All right, time out. Question for you. Were you on the phone during the Madeline interview with us?
No, I guess not.
Okay, because it was Mark and
Yeah.
somebody else who was at work. Not a joke, because you could hear it. They were paging him, and he's like, hold on. So you'll have to get them to come up here too. And you guys
Absolutely.
do Ska by Ska West.
That's right.
We want to come MC that. I'm putting that out there.
Oh,
Please let us come MC that music festival.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
It's so
Love
cool.
that. Tell 'em
hey, we've all
Don't
made
need
friends here.
It's like a giant.
I guess I
family
get your place in the van now, Sam.
reunion.
So let's talk about how your tour has been going, because isn't Sam, like, you picked him up in Oklahoma? Did you have another trombone player who had to go home?
Yeah, no. So like I said, Willie's on tour the whole summer. He's been gone since like mid-June, so he's been with us the whole time.
Okay.
Duddy, our usual guitarist, had to bail in Des Moines. So he
Okay.
played Des Moines with us and then went to drop him off at the airport and picked up Eric, and Eric's finishing off these last few shows with us. But yeah, we, like, 5 of us started in Arlington, and then we drove to North Richland Hills to pick up Gulick, and then we drove to Norman to pick up Maddie, and then we drove up to Oklahoma City to pick up Sam, and then we came back to Norman to play the gig.
Holy shit. How, all right, let's talk about that. How far, you just like shapes. You like to try and ovals. I don't know if there's an Excel spreadsheet that lets you do that, my friend.
I've looked.
What about the miles though? Like how far away are all of these places when we start talking about that?
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
200 to Norman.
Yeah.
I want to hear perspective as to what close
See,
is.
in Texas-
Madison is that far from here.
Yeah, in Texas we just go by hours. So it was like 3 hours to get up to like the Norman, Oklahoma City area.
Like another 30 minutes for Sam, then like
And then
40-ish minutes to get back to the venue. So
Yeah. So the first show was in Norman though, so
yeah, it was all.
yeah, it's not like we had to like leave from a show in Texas and then go to Norman
Yeah.
and pick all these people up. It was just
Yeah.
So then, give us a overview so far of how things have been going. Where have you played? What has the response been like? You know, have you made friends on the road?
Oh,
Yeah, yes, we
shout
have.
out to the Wilderness. They're like our band BFFs. We played with them in Des Moines, and they were amazing. Like one of the coolest bands we've
they're
ever seen,
so-
coolest people.
So nice.
But no, tour's been amazing. We've gotten a lot of love in the Midwest, like a stupid amount of love. Sioux Falls was really cool because we played at the Bonus Round Bar and we played in their parking lot. And it was the most like ska-punk show we've ever
Yeah.
played. We have a bunch of like high schoolers come out, like in Real Big Fish Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, wow.
it was the coolest.
When you played in Des Moines, did you play at Lefties?
We did
We
play
did.
Lefties.
Shout out to Sean, who used to put together a music festival that has thus died, called Fistful of Ska. But the last time that there was one of those was 2015, and we went to that, and the Pie Tasters and the Agrolites played with the Crombies, and it was amazing. So what did you think of that venue? That's a cool little place,
Yeah,
right?
it was
Did-
incredible.
Do any of you drink beer? Any of you?
All of us,
Except for me and Victor.
Yeah.
Me and Victor don't.
So my question is, did any of you try the blonde? They have a blonde ale there that is fucking amazing. It's also 9%. so as you smoke your large cigars and eat your steak, you can have one of those. So, we're towards the end of your tour, right?
Yeah.
Is tonight the last?
Yes.
Tonight's the last one.
Okay, and then you head back on to Texas. So what is the drive from here to Texas? How many hours is that?
From
we
here
don't
to
wanna talk
Texas,
about
that's
it.
probably like 17. It's something.
yeah. From Chicago it'll be like 16.
Yeah, so Chicago, it's only 16.
You know it's not an hour away from here, right? It's like 2.
Yeah, but you gotta like get out. We're playing Northside Chicago, and you gotta get out of there.
Yeah.
It's like 16 hours. That's what Google Maps says.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
So
That's what we tell ourselves.
have you gotten to have any downtime as a band where you've been able to go see and do things? And if so, what have you been doing?
Yeah, Make It. Shout out to Make It Take It in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Love you, Christy.
We stayed with Sam's sister, who owns a craft store, and our one day off, we like painted and made crafts.
We all made art.
It was
really
awesome.
cute.
It was super
I
fun.
sang in a Mormon choir.
Yeah.
What?
I went to the Mormon choir.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was uncomfortable.
All right. So when you throw something as bold as that out there, how did that come to be?
My family's Mormon.
Yeah.
So then they just said you're elected to go sing in the
No,
choir?
he wanted
volunteered.
to.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to
Yeah.
try it out.
No,
And then
so
it was not fun.
My brother-in-law was like, "Oh, I gotta go to choir rehearsal." Victor said, "Oh, can I go with you?"
Yeah.
So
What was uncomfortable about it? You didn't get your own planet and kid lives there,
Well,
or
it just felt like nobody. I don't know. It felt really uncomfortable. Like if I sneezed, I was gonna go to hell. That's what I was worried about.
Really?
I was very
I
scared.
went to high school with a Mormon who sung beautifully. And
Yeah, they
he was
sounded
in
nice.
choir.
Yeah.
And just the music is like, I don't know. Even if you didn't believe in God or weren't spiritual, there was something just moving about the sound coming out of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, big old choirs.
Well, yeah, Mormon's got the
Ascending.
best choirs.
Good job. High five word guy.
That's a $20 word right there.
I know, because normally he can't read them. So good job. we allow him to learn. We continue his learning experience by encouraging the reading Tuesday nights.
They're teaching me literacy.
Yeah. There are literacy numeracy games. We haven't tape tested you yet, but it's okay.
Like, lucky for you, we're like almost
damn.
all teachers, man. So.
I know. Yeah, let's talk about that. I feel like I'm sitting in a group of collegiate, human beings. So who does what? Because you're a teacher. You're a band teacher for elementary school?
Yeah, just a general music teacher.
Okay.
I'm a choir director.
A choir director where? At a school?
At a school.
Okay. High school, middle school?
Intermediate.
What the hell?
That's Texas for junior.
That's a Texas.
No, habla Texan.
5 and 6.
Sixth graders?
Yeah, 6th graders.
Okay.
5th graders.
I teach elementary music too. Like Felipe.
Oh, I teach private lessons,
Awesome.
Yeah.
What
I do-
instruments?
guitar and piano mainly.
I do the same. I teach private lessons.
Okay, well, you teach private lessons. Okay, so guitar and piano, and what do you teach?
Trumpet, trombone.
Percussion.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What got you into percussion?
I don't know. I was stupid and young.
Every 10-year-old wants to play drums.
Essentially.
Really?
Oh my
Yeah.
god! If you ever
No.
been in a band
They
room,
want to
like-
play.
Have I fucking have I been in a band room?
Alright, soapbox.
I played clarinet all through
No, did you really?
I'm a clarinetist and a saxophonist. Yeah. I started when I was 11 in the 5th grade. Yeah.
Wisconsin thing?
Yes.
I started in 5th grade.
Band,
I started in 7th grade.
band is allowable at the 5th grade
I'm
level,
so sorry.
but it was fun, and I did it. I marched in marching band. I got roped
band.
into learning saxophone because
Makes sense.
I was roped into it.
I think most saxophone players do get just roped into
Were you
it.
roped in, or was that your?
He
chosen-
started. It was weird for him.
They wanted me to play trombone because I had longer arms.
Yeah.
But I already had that saxophone I played was, I already had that.
It was
so I
beautiful.
started on it.
I quite enjoyed it. Cooper was great. Like, that was very well done. But yes, I played clarinet, and then here, CYO band, the Catholic marching band, didn't have any saxophone players, and they're like, we'll give you one and teach you how to play if you just march with us. And I was
Weird.
like,
It is completely opposite.
my time to get into jazz band, because they fucking don't let clarinetists be in jazz band up here.
It's not
It made me sad. I was like, can I just transpose and write the pieces? And they were like, no. I'm like, why? I'm actually applying the music theory you're teaching. So yes, I get banned.
Band directors have to like trick kids to not play saxophone in Texas.
Why? Is that
Because they
like
would
the
have
thing?
like 20 of them.
It's saxophone,
And
trumpet, and drums.
drums.
Everyone wants to play drums.
Yeah.
trumpet, and
True.
saxophone.
It's super true.
I think it's mostly drums. My experience, Oklahoma's got
Well,
like a
definitely
Texas influence,
in
but
the-
it's like, probably 2/3 of kids are like, yup, I want to do drums, so that's why they make you take a test.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, no. When I joined band, I was like, I want to play trumpet, and they were like, well, how about flute? And I was like, I'm not gonna be a band if I play flute. And they're like, okay, yeah, you can play trumpet. That's fine.
That's my demand.
That's interesting. I don't like that we tried to persuade people into something else. Hey, gangly arms, here's a trombone. I would have whipped my arm at them.
They should talk kids out of percussion,
Really just
though.
jump around
They
back
should
and
talk
forth.
kids out of percussion, though.
No, they,
Yeah,
they
it's
look
like
at
too
this
many.
whole schlepping thing. You know what I mean? Like the moving the equipment part. That's the worst part. I love doing it. I mean,
We're listening to you, and we're listening
thanks,
to
I'm
her.
sorry. I'm so sorry. So
You're next. Hold your thought.
come on, gangly arms.
The new nicknames that you get while you're here. What were you saying? She was talking about schlepping all the equipment and how that sucks, but you
Oh
do
no, I
it.
was saying like in band, because we were like kind of knocking on how like they try to steer kids towards certain instruments, but there's a reason for it because like part of it is your mouth, your teeth. There's a lot of things that in your lips. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. They're not just like saying we don't want you to play saxophone or we don't want you to play this. Like they're trying to fill it out, but they also look at Your
Try-
makeup.
Yeah,
They
they're
want
trying
you to do something that you'll learn easy.
and like be good
successful.
at and enjoy and
Yeah.
stay in bands.
Yes.
Yeah.
I picked up clarinet and they were like, whoa.
I didn't want to paint a picture
Because
of
I could
like,
just play
being
it.
a band director.
And like my daughter has done the same sort of thing where she like can pick up my saxophone, and as a little thing it was giant and she played it and I was like, oh wow. Now she's doing piano. So
Nice.
music to the next generation, which is what you guys are doing, which makes you sound, let's talk about that, fucking phenomenal. You are a band that sent a recording that we played on the 12th, and you delivered the exact same mix and intonation and volume and passion as was on the recording. So kudos.
Yeah.
I think that was our thing during that, right?
Yeah.
No,
Kudos.
We've all studied music in college, and like, yeah, every single person that's here right now studied
Yeah.
music in college.
We have some. Yeah.
So-
I did band. I got yelled at for smoking before class. The band director would walk past and I'm like, sup? And he's like, you're gonna ruin your instrument. And I was like, I'll be in 5 minutes. You're not supposed to drink with reed instruments either. Just saying. That's what a new reed's for in your back pocket. And what the cleaner is for. How to be a bad band kid. These kids would write me up. I
All
get
these teachers
detention.
are cringing.
Right? I know. I have all.
Yeah, this is really funny.
Oh, sorry. I know. I mean, like, I feel I got the Catholic guilt when I do that. I do. I'm like, oh, Mr. Wheelie would be pissed, and then I'm like,
Fuck it.
I got this. We're good. So tonight, after you leave, what will be? Well, or tomorrow morning when you head back down.
No, it's tonight.
No, we're leaving tonight.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck! Do you know? So do you share the driving responsibility?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we
We got a lot of
With
people.
us,
Aw, that's
we want to
cute.
get home really quickly, so we have like people like fighting over who's gonna drive first. We're like, no, I'll drive first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting home.
Maddie's winning that
Are you
argument
guys
right
gonna stay for the whole show, or are you going to Kate Thanks by it and leave early?
Yeah,
so
we're
you
playing.
can-
We're headlining, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So as soon as we're done, we get to do
So
it.
this is what you do. You should show up and be like, hey, so we're gonna be on time, right? Because like we're tired, and our sleep and personal wellness is very valuable
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
We miss our cats and loved ones and dogs.
I like that cat was the first thing said.
It's like
That was
all
me,
I've been
okay.
talking
Yes.
about. That's like I don't give a shit about anything else. I'm like,
If you go sit quietly in the living room, our 3 cats might come out.
I was looking for them. I was like, where are the cats? I saw like the cat food. I was like, there's cats here.
There are
I
cats.
was
There are
really
3
excited
of them.
about it.
What I think we're really trying to do is we all want to get back to see Ryan.
Yeah, yeah. We want to see you. Shout out to Ryan from the.
I'm right here.
Those guys were great. Like, we just did a phone interview with them, and
And that sounds just like him,
That
right?
it was.
That's it.
That's a fucking attack seagull. It is. He's circling. You ever been attacked in Wisconsin by the birds? It might happen now.
We watched some Animal Planet go down here earlier.
So what states on this tour are firsts for you folks?
I've never been to
Nebraska,
Nebraska.
South Dakota,
Uh huh.
Minnesota,
Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Other of
Yeah.
them.
Everyone except Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've been to like Wisconsin and Illinois because of family, but other than that, I think everything else was like new.
Do you all hail from Texas?
Yeah, pretty much except for Sam.
Except for Sam.
I just
Oklahoma
moved
City.
to Oklahoma, but like the rest of us live in Texas. So
Texas, born and raised.
yeah.
Yeah. So have you noticed on your tour, is there like a big shift and divide in how people interact, communicate, treat you from south to up here in the Midwest?
All are really friendly.
Yeah, you
That's
guys
one
are
of the
like,
biggest
but it's not like
differences.
the fake friendly that you get in the South.
Texas is
It's
mean.
like a real like genuine friendliness where people actually like want to talk to you and have a conversation.
Get
It's-
an umbrella,
it's really
Kif.
nice.
We have an umbrella.
You're up front. Just kidding. I'll
So it's, I mean, I don't mind the rain. It's just dripping a bit, but we don't want the camera to get wet, so he's gonna go get an umbrella. So food. Talk about food. How has food been? Like,
Bananas.
Pimento.
I don't want to hear about
Yeah,
bananas.
we're probably never eating bananas again.
Why? What
They
happened?
left them in
They
the
went bad in the cooler.
They like melted.
Well, to
it
be
was
fair,
pretty
the cooler
gross.
didn't
They
have ice.
melted?
Like we like pulled them out and we were like, okay, we need to get rid of these bananas. And Felipe threw them at the dumpster, and like 2 of them like went the opposite direction, and he picked it up and it just dripped. So
You had banana juice. That's
like-
called an opportunity. You don't
the
need
box they
teeth.
were in, like disintegrated. It was nasty. It was so gross.
made a
Just
joke that
saying, huh?
We had flies follow us from like Texas all the way to the tour.
You did what?
We had
Buzz
a pet
flies.
fly.
No, it was
turd.
Buster the Fifth.
Yeah, it was probably several
And,
generations. He was with us for a while.
Yeah, we walked in and banging another fly too. So we.
So you'll have fly babies called
Right.
maggots
Yeah,
somewhere
right.
soon, huh? That'll be fun. So did you guys pack food, or have you been trying to stop and eat and?
A little of both.
Yeah.
We tried really hard for the first few days, and then
We
after
were-
that,
Peanut butter is only good for like a couple meals, and then you're like, I don't want peanut butter anymore.
Peanut butter.
But in Minneapolis, we played at a Pimento Jamaican kitchen, and
it was
it
so
was
good.
bonkers. It was so good. Shout out to Scott McDonald at Pimento.
Hell yeah, get the Kingston sauce. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
So it's gonna rain now?
Yes, it is.
Hey, we'll take a quick break. We'll go get set up in the living room and we'll finish this. How's that sound? Good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because Murphy's Law.
Yes.
We're live.
It's just the Ska Kid and Knights of the Floor. We moved in because the weather became inclement, and so things didn't get ruined. We moved on inside here.
Scoot in a little bit. There you go.
Hey, do I need to lean back like this now? Hey. All right. So where were we? You had bananas that went bad.
Oh, the food.
And you were talking about in Minnesota eating at a Jamaican pimento place.
Yeah.
Kingston
Oh man,
Yeah.
that
Kingston
is
sauce.
so good. I'm a vegan, so there are like very limited options on tour when you're just like getting fast food. But they had like curry vegetable. Oh man,
Curry potatoes.
I had
is
a
so
dream
good.
about it last night. It was pretty good. It was so
Yeah.
good.
So and you all come. You said initially from Texas, and that these states are all new things to you. Now that you've done this tour, what's going to be the plan? Because when we talked on the phone, you had said the next thing is if this goes well, we'll be headed to the West Coast. Well, some of those people were like, "Come here." The upscometrists were watching you. Those are Idaho Falls guys. They're awesome. So, and we have a few California folk that would put you up too. So, did this go well enough to say now during this interview that you would go west next?
I'm looking for the nods.
Yeah,
I've
Just as asking questions we haven't talked about yet.
we haven't had our band meeting yet.
Not quite.
No, like this has been so fun, and like the amount of just kindness we have found on the road is still awe-inspiring. Like people that knew me from a Facebook message said, "Yeah, you have 9 people, you can sleep in our basement." Like just been super sweet, and we haven't had really any major isques.
I mean, you're all. This is like the end of tour, and none of you have killed each other or have defensive marks. So it looks as if things have gone well. Have there been any like freak out moments as we've been on the road?
Just the bananas, really.
Seriously, like I joke, but like this is probably the nicest group of 9 people you'll ever meet. Like every day, like there's been a moment where we'll just jam and have a good time. We crack jokes all the time. Like there hasn't been a sour moment other than just like individual like exhaustion, just like quietness, just from being tired. But other than that, everyone's been really pleasant and friendly. It's
Sam.
awesome. Yeah, except Sam.
Except Sam. This has been incredible. I got to spend like 9 days with like 9 or 8 of my favorite people in the whole world. Like it's been incredible, and we couldn't ask for much else.
Awesome.
So yeah, West Coast coming for you next.
Yeah.
And then end with a hometown show in El Paso, so my mom won't be mad at me again for not booking a tour through El Paso.
Right? But you should just respond with the wave file of that song. That should just be your response. Thanks, Mom. Unless I'll have dinner every night and not have to wake up at 8. We'll talk. Love you, Mom. But so now, what is the goal upon returning?
Resting.
Resting?
Yeah, we got a few shows when we get back, but I want to keep us relatively light because, and we talked about a little bit when I first started the band. I wrote and arranged everything.
Mhm.
So our next big goal is I want us to write an album together, like as a band, like everyone bring bits and pieces. We've talked about like renting a cabin for a weekend and just going and just jamming and cranking out some new tunes.
So, as far as all of you, sorry Sam, minus you, but most of all of you practicing, the subs can take a break. How does practice go? How often do you practice, and what is coordination like that? A trip like that, then how many spreadsheets is required?
It's a lot. Like trying to get 7 people to agree on a time that we can consistently rehearse is a challenge.
When do you practice?
Usually, for a while, our time's been Sundays at 1:30.
And you practice for 2 hours, right?
Yeah, give or take 2 hours. On days where like the horn people can come, we do a half rehearsal with just the rhythm section. The horns meet up sometimes just to do stuff on their own. But yeah, and that's probably gonna have to change now. Again. Because school will be starting back up and we're all going to be exhausted.
Mm-hmm. How about if you go away to your cabin? Will it just be this group that goes to said cabin in the woods? Or our family and such? That can you bring your cat?
I will. I don't know if that's allowed, but she's coming.
Yeah, I don't know. We're just going to have to feel that out.
Do you feel that though family is supportive, that it is also distracting at times if you're trying to be creative and write something as a group? Because a band is a family in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So how easy do you, deal with conflict that comes from outside forces?
I've been talking a lot.
It's like Felipe.
Like a lot of us are like single or like not close to home, so there's not like a whole lot of like family or like girlfriend, boyfriend interference. Because at least from what I think, with the exception of like,
I think we're all
We're on our relationships.
yeah.
no, I mean like you know what I'm saying, like no like big families.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Like
gotcha.
not like
Like us and the 4 damn kids we got
I mean
all
like
around the
single,
music
single as
fest.
in like just like no families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one who's
Yeah.
married with a kid.
Yeah.
How old is your child?
It's 1.5.
And how easy does getting away to go practice, like, is your family okay with that?
It's kind of hard because I live an hour away from them,
Mm-hmm.
and Sundays are hard because I go to church, and so I don't always have time. But it's tricky.
But he's also a superstar musician, so
Yeah.
it's literally like, hey, here's the music, and he'll come like to every other rehearsal, and
So you could send
Yeah.
him whatever you recorded, he plays and
yeah,
delivers a product
He's-
upon arrival.
exactly. Like
That's
he's
good. Good job.
he's one of
Your
the,
long arms paid off somewhere, friend. They give the best hugs.
They do.
That's what you have to do.
yeah, he's a damn good hugger.
Just saying. So the future of Flip and the combined effort now, will you be, estimated to be releasing something else? Because this tour was right on the 13th. You kick off your new album.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going? See, I remember things.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like it's gotten received real well.
Mm.
Like a lot of people dig it because it's kind of going to like ska adjacent territory, but it's still being
Ska adjacent. Oh
Yeah.
my lord, did you map it? Stop with it.
That's the term. Like RX Bandits are ska adjacent.
I know,
Streetlights
I
ska
know.
adjacent. Yeah.
Wait, Streetlight you consider ska adjacent? Why?
They don't
Maybe
like
not-
being called ska.
Yeah, say
Yeah.
not the Keys Be Nights album and everything goes numb. You could maybe
Yeah, no,
talk,
everything-
but
but,
somewhere in the between, that's
The
the.
Hands of Thief. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
total. Like they're pulling from a lot of different other places.
Yeah.
I guess Big D could be considered ska adjacent as well, or Real Big Fish at this point because of
Yeah.
their Cheer Up album was definitely not.
Oh, that was
very
punk. Punk is all get out.
Or like Goldfinger. Goldfinger
Oh,
was
yeah.
funky as hell.
Their new stuff, especially.
The knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So let's talk about influences. We just listed off a bunch of things. When you guys are sitting at home doing whatever it is that you want to do, what are you listening to? We'll start with you.
I feel personally attacked.
You do?
You should.
No, I mean,
Why?
no, I'm kidding. I'm like actually 47, so like I listen to NPR and like a classical music station, and that's all I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, 24. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like, I guess I draw my inspiration from like personal experiences more than just like musical experiences.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Her songs reflect that really well.
Yeah.
She's a great songwriter.
Yeah.
Like I said, the lyrical content of your music is amazing. It is something that is thought-provoking. You have to critically think and analyze those things, and you're like, oh wow,
Like,
that's powerful.
They're making me feel things.
All right, Sam, you're up.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of the ska greats, right? Listen to Streetlight Manifesto, Big D, the Boss Tones, whatever. I also listen to a lot of Asian Kung Fu Generation. Every album they put out is killer. Every track,
What kind of music is
phenomenal. It's like a Japanese alt rock.
I sure would love that.
that?
Yeah, Asian Kung Fu Generation is killer. So they influence a lot of my writing with my band. But
Well, that's gonna be the next one.
So I was a jazz musician for a little while. So I listened to a lot of jazz. I feel like that's had like a lot of influence on like my personal style. Like when I solo in Cooper, like I'm drawing from like those like blues tones. But like now I really listen to just like a ton of ska. Because it's feel good music.
But
Like-
what genre of ska? All of you have
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about third or adjacent ska.
Oh man, I'm a big two-tone fan. I love the Toasters, but even like anything really, like I'll listen to Streetlight, I'll listen to like old Catch 22, Real
Because
Big Fish.
You're
Goldfinger.
musicians. I want to challenge you. Can you do something for me?
Sure.
I look scared. How many of you listen to first wave ska music?
On occasion.
Okay,
Yeah.
like Prince Buster,
Yeah, Prince
Laurel
Buster.
Atkin, Monty Naismith. Yes? Okay. I want you, while you're in your cabin in the woods, over a beautiful lake with some wonderful conifers and a beautiful cat, I'm sure, sitting on your deck thinking of things, listen to some first wave ska music or Jamaican mento and write a song for your next album with that influence. Because I see lots of bands that listen to certain things and they stay there.
Yeah.
You guys already have shown the musical aptitude to incorporate other genres within your music, so I challenge you to do that.
That sounds acceptable.
Because that's what I love ska because of the roots that it comes from. And 1950s and 60s ska music where they're, not everybody can cha-cha-cha, not everybody can do the twist, but everybody can do the ska. Like that makes you wanna I wanna love everybody and dance like this. And I can't help it. I listen to music and I just move, and that I think would help. It has all of the things that you all listen to, which is what started it. I think that sometimes as we move through the genre, that every band has its place, but that sometimes it gets muddled and the sound became more something else. And it should be more, I don't know, I want a breadth of knowledge of music within a band, and you guys have that. So that's my challenge to you. Yay, it's like church. The Church of Jazz has happened. We're gonna write a book on things. Were you finished with your answer? I cut you off and I apologize.
No, that was it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was it.
You're up. What you listen to, bruh?
Oh, sorry.
That's what the glasses are
I don't know
for.
that I've listened to anything. So
No, I guess growing up, I really like System of a Down, which is not ska at all, but
That's fine.
I still go hardcore System of a Down occasionally. Now, I like iHeartRadio because it'll play stuff that's similar to what you're listening to, and so one of the stations I listen to is Streetlight Manifesto, so I'll hear a lot of other stuff. And I also found recently a group called Moon Hooch.
Oh, yeah.
It's
They're
two
awesome.
saxes and a drummer, and they're so good.
Tight.
These guys are crazy.
They're new school guys from New York, I think.
I thought Jersey, but yeah, definitely Northeast.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly.
We recently have had some more bands reach out that have a very different sound from the East Coast, and I'm like, yes.
But yeah.
Well, I know what got me playing guitar was Blink-182, and so I've always just, pop punk's always somewhere on my playlist. But then, I guess more recently, just like jazz, specifically like bossa nova kind of things, just real chill.
I love to play the piano. Love to play the
That's
piano.
what we heard. We heard you have 4 of them, and that you
I
play.
do.
But he has
I'm
more than
out.
that.
I have several more
In a
waiting.
fold-up one.
Yeah, I have a fold-up one too.
Wow,
I am addicted.
that's okay.
And
It's healthy.
There are worse things to be addicted to.
yeah, so I love listening to Ben Folds, and I love listening to disco a lot. So that's what I like to do.
You sound ashamed. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get water out there.
That's
There's no
what-
water anymore.
That's what I like to do.
And then of course I listen to ska a lot, but really into the hardcore bands like 4 Year Strong and We Are the Union, which is they kind of meld those two together. And then I listen to a bunch of like underground hip hop people like Atmosphere and MC Bars and Watsky, like a lot of that, and a lot of like fusion stuff like Snarky Puppy and Wolfpack and all those guys. So,
How many of you guys are in other bands? We know you guys are in another band.
Like 2 of them.
Yeah.
What are your other bands?
No,
Time out, we're gonna answer full questions here.
Madeline and Johnny's Big Red Rocket.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one sometimes.
And this
this
one now.
And now you can add this add us to your list.
What's your synth pop band called?
Svenny Baby.
What?
Svenny Baby.
Svenny?
Yeah, SVE and NY.
Yeah.
Oh,
Svenny.
like Scandinavian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't think about it very hard, but
Felipe's actually a Scandinavian Hispanic.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, no, I know. That's
Hispanics.
Yeah.
There's a very large population of not though Scandinavian, Irish Mexican as well.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a main surprise.
So you know.
I love whiskey.
Just this.
Just this?
Yeah.
I have like something in the making with the guitar player from Black Market Garden, Jack Bellamy.
Yes. I've heard of this project.
Yeah, we're gonna start
Excited.
doing some things and we'll see what happens.
What kind of things?
I don't know.
Will it be different than what you're doing now?
Yeah, it'll be like a 2-piece, like a white stripes type of thing, but we'll see what happens.
My regular gig is with Ska Septet Elephancy from Oklahoma City.
Hold on, wait. Time out.
Let's
Yeah.
What's that?
7 players.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just have never heard it put so eloquently. Ska-septic.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's the ska-punk band from Oklahoma City. We have an EP out called Quiet Beginnings.
Maybe
You're gonna
to be
send that
also
to us?
featured on the
Yeah.
show. Hey!
I was in like various ensembles with school, like a jazz ensemble, but now I just do this.
Now you just do this.
Yeah.
Very cool. What was gonna be my next question? Because I'm sweating to death over here. You guys sweating to death in this damn house now that it's rained too? What's this? What has your fluctuation in temperature have been as you've gone through this tour?
Nicer and
Yeah.
nicer and nicer and nicer.
Yeah.
Weather has just gotten better.
Yes.
When you left, what was the temperature?
Hot.
Like 100 and something.
Like upper 90s, I think.
No, it was
Pushing
more than
the
that.
Was
Yeah, but like the day after we left, it hit like 104.
Yeah.
I stay in Texas then.
The people.
Have you ever been to Texas before?
Nope.
There's
That's
actually.
why I don't know.
I've been to Texas. Now listen.
I've not been to Texas.
I've been to Texas, but they were all
Watch
born in
it.
Texas, and so they like, no matter what they think, they can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, like
They just can't. But I have an outside opinion, and
That's so funny.
yeah, so like you can hate Texas, like you can be a person that hates Texas, but if you were born there, you cannot say that.
ever since I left, all I talk about is how Texas is the best freaking state.
You left where?
awesome.
Where?
I moved to Oklahoma like a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
staying.
since you left Texas, you're like, fuck Oklahoma?
Like, the whole time I was
Nobody
in
likes
Texas, I was like, man, Texas sucks. It's the best here. And it's like, as soon as I stepped over the border, I was like, man, Texas is the best. Freaking love Texas.
It happens if you're from Texas, but you know, every outsider's perspective is like, wow, this is a place for Texans and Texans only.
Yeah?
So,
What does that mean? What is the cultural differences between...
Yeah, we are from Texas, so like, you know,
We're just very proud of
Yeah,
ourselves.
Yeah, but now you've come up here and meet the Midwest folks who like scratch their nuts, drink beer, and are like, "Would you like milk when you're thirsty?" So
you know how like the United States doesn't want immigrants, right? We're like, no, it should just be people from the States in here. Like that's a big thing right now. Well, Texas is like that with anybody that's not Texas.
yeah.
So it's
So my kids will be put in cages if I go visit you.
Yes.
And now we just got censored again.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's true. They'll do
Shit
it.
got real.
They'll do it. Sam, do you not ever go to Texas?
Oh no, I'm in Texas a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I can say this.
You said you're out of the band.
Yeah.
He's like, y'all kicked me out when we pulled up, so I gotta hedge my bets in Wisconsin now.
I broke my record in Sioux Falls. That I got kicked out of the band the most on that day.
That was a good day, too.
Yeah.
That was good.
You need like a clipboard with tally marks as to like
yeah.
I got a
what
spreadsheet.
infractions cause you to be kicked out of the band, Sam.
Oh, I think like
Me and Sam. That's
You
all
just
it is.
witnessed
He just
some of them,
opens
I
his
think.
mouth and we're like, out of the band. Don't even.
I'm
Is
not
there a
Texas.
spreadsheet for that?
Okay.
They don't like non-Texans.
Oh, they're doing well in my living room. Your fake politeness is going over well.
Yeah, get in a van. You'll see how far it goes.
Yeah. Anybody get car sick? Oh.
yeah.
Do you know that bananas are the... Listen, though yours went bad, stop and refuel. If you get sick and you throw up, bananas are the best. A, they're non-acidic. They do not burn when they come back up. And B, they help coat your tummy so that you're not eating a large amount of bile when you throw up either. The more you know! Not that you want to throw anything up, but bananas and applesauce, because they don't burn. Just so you know. Okay.
And rice.
And PBR.
toast.
And PBR.
Yes.
Then PBR.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, you're so
Hey-o.
It gives a nice coating everywhere.
Other influences for you folks. I mean, you had Alexis come up and sing because she's. Is it just one song you've done?
Two.
It's like two,
They
but
were
it's
back
kind
to
of
back.
like.
Yeah, we do them back to back, so they just
Yeah.
flow well into each other.
Yes. So, was she the first that was allowed to like
Allowed.
to write?
By
and
decree
do-
of flip, you may start.
No.
You said so on the 12th that this was your thing, and that's why they became the and CE. It was
Yeah.
like parentheses, but now you're going to release the parentheses and allow creative freedom.
Yeah.
Chains be gone. Let my people go.
Oh! You guys should become a two-tone band now. I have enjoyed this. Thank you. So, I mean, like, how did you come to write a piece for this band? And she was the first, because how many other people have written for you that you didn't say, okay, here at page 3, measure 4, this is what you play?
Well, our usual guitarist, Duddy, he has he wrote a song. Well, he had a song that we've adapted for Flip, and it's gone over really well, but we couldn't play it because he's not here. But yeah, it was Duddy, Alexis. Our old trumpet player wrote a song that we played a handful of times. So
what's your inspiration, and who gets to write next? Because we were told by Flip that you're in charge of the other band.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever gonna get to write for this one?
I think it's come to my mind a lot, but I think there's some.
They're good questions. Don't judge
You
me.
can't cross the beams.
Hold up your cups. Look it. You can play because you can be red and then you can be green and we'll go. See?
Oh.
Because we believe in great table manners here.
Like I said, my influences are just very different, and I think if he ever lets me write a song for it, I have to do my research first before I do that, because I want it to be an authentic like ska song.
Honestly,
eyebrows. You sound so yourself.
I honestly think the goal is to write a song collectively.
Yeah.
You know, like we want to develop like our own sound, not just like Felipe's sound or Alexis's sound. We want it to be like the Flip and the combined effort sounds.
You're
and I
getting
think that's
there.
the goal.
Because you guys sound amazing.
And tight.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So now that you've released this, talk about the new album real quick before
Yeah.
we're done, and so I can send you on your way to go have fun in
Yeah,
Chicago.
So it's called This EP Has No Theme because the last record was called In Search of Home, and they were all songs about the idea of home.
And Margot and No Apology are off of that
Yeah,
new one.
Off the new one, yeah. And there was no through line between all the songs, and I'm like, I love committing to a bit, and there was just in the songs we had, I was like, I don't see anything that we can like do a through line, so I was like, let's just lean into the bit of not having a bit, and that's where the name came from. And yeah, it's 6 songs, all featuring all of the members, because the last record I had Hired Guns record the tracks, but this record has everyone on it, which was very important for me to have that done. And yeah, it's 6 awesome songs that I'm really proud of.
And people can find you where?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. I know that you're huge on Instagram.
I'm trying. Yeah. So on Instagram and Twitter we're at
Alexis. I don't know.
I don't get on Instagram. So I'm 47 again.
How tall are your socks to make this statement? Sock height equates to
There we
age.
go.
She's getting there.
Slowly creeping up. Back in my day.
So Facebook,
Instagram, Twitter,
Bandcamp,
and it's all Flip and the CE.
And Spotify.
And Spotify, and then we have a website that's under construction, flipandthece.band.
So,
yeah.
Your show in Chicago tonight starts when, so that the local viewers can catch you?
9:45.
You can catch these guys at 9:45 at the Mutiny, but get there early, like probably 8 o'clock, so that you can get in, get comfortable, grab your beer, talk to them.
Chat with us.
Do you have merch?
Yeah, we got shirts, we got CDs, we got buttons.
We got condoms.
Did you get condoms?
We don't have condoms.
No.
You're the
Falls
band.
down. Yeah, out of the band, spreading the lines again.
But and Carney, the dude
There
that we
was a
played
guy
with
who
Din,
had
we were like, oh, like that's good.
That's
like, that's funny.
Condom merch is brilliant.
You have to provide, a good message.
I
safe
saw
sex.
the Hans Gruber koozie.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I
great
offer
idea.
koozies for sale. We could hook up and get you some merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
yeah.
make merch.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We do t-shirts, buttons, stickers.
Oh,
Hell
okay.
Hey.
We'll talk.
We're a one-stop shop.
That's after
Kip
the show.
also is an artist who has his own page who makes all of his own art. So,
Awesome.
hey,
That's a flyer for a show.
because I forget to talk about it during our shit. I'm like, we offer a lot of things. What are they again? But you can catch Flip in the combined effort. They're on their way to Chicago tonight at the Mutiny. And happy birthday to Nick Drums, who just shot me a message and was like, yo, come hang out with us. We'll see, brah. We'll see. So, this has been the Saturday afternoon matinee. And catch us fucking Tuesday when we prepare for next week, okay?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.